Afternoon, guys. Dave Canterbury at the Pathfinder School. I want to show you a little fire trick or tip today. I want to show you how to start fire with pine resin without using any type of bird nest or anything else. You can just take the pine resin, strike it with a ferro rod, and because it is a natural accelerant, it will catch fire. I'm going to show you that, so stay with me here and we'll get right after it. Okay, guys, I want to show you a little trick today. I've got a few shavings of tulip poplar right here, right off of that stick that we used with the carving jack the other day. It's sitting right over here. Okay. And in my tin, I've got some pine sap in a plastic bag. And we talked about this during the muzzle loading video. And that plastic bag only really keeps that stuff from getting hard because you're not letting air to it. And it smells just like turpentine. And if I take just a chunk of that, it doesn't have to be a very big one. Get this put away. We take stuff out, we put it away, that way we always know where it's at. We're not fumbling around for it after the fact. Okay. Now, if we take this little pile right here and just kind of break this up as best we can. It doesn't have to be hard. It's better if it's soft, because if it's soft, it's going to have accelerants in it that are going to come off of it real easy. You're going to get some of this stuck to your hands doing this, but that's okay. Smash it up the best you can, because when you strike this with a ferro rod, you want plenty of surface area to ignite. And you remember we talked about pine resin being a natural accelerant. So this stuff should take a spark like it's nothing and light right up. And you can see how I've broken it up. It's not broken up so much that it's dust. It's just broke into little globs. I'm going to direct this in the right spot here. There we go. Now the only reason I put that wood in there was to have a little bit of tinder, okay, for that pine resin to melt onto, because once it gets hot, it's going to melt. There's some that's not caught right there. And once it starts to melt, I wanted something for it to catch onto, because now all I have to do is just start adding sticks to this thing, and I'm going to have a full-on fire pretty quick. It's not going to take much. And I wasn't even ready for this, guys. It's not like I was trying to build a big old fire. But I want to show you how easy it is, even if you're not ready. Let's get that wet one off of there. Even if you're not ready to get a fire going. The trick is small sticks with this. You don't want anything big. Even that one right there is really bigger than I'd like to put on there. I'd rather stay with stuff the size of a needle and stuff that cracks easy in my hand. But with that pine resin, we got plenty of time to mess around, even if we weren't conducting business right and we weren't exactly ready to start a fire when we struck that thing up. We still got plenty of time. I got some bark in here. Put some bark on there. That stick's a little green, but it'll work. That one's a little bit bigger, and that's okay though. Now we're going to let the flames catch up and get them above the fuel. And once the flames are above the fuel, then we can add more fuel. But we want to wait until those flames rise up above the fuel first. Like that. Now we can add a couple more pieces in there. I'm adding some bigger stuff out on the sides. But I'm still putting the small stuff on there as I can as well. Once those flames go down below the fuel, I stop adding fuel. As long as those flames are above the fuel level, I'll keep adding fuel. But the advantage to this pine resin should be pretty obvious to you right now, because without that, a fire that you weren't prepped and ready to go with, like this one, would already be done. But because you've got that little bit of pine resin in there, you've got extended flame. And I wanted to show you that that stuff is a natural accelerant and will take a spark and light right up, because that's the key to understand with pine sap. That pine sap was right off the tree. We collected that just the other day. Now I have to wait for my flames to catch up again. So while that's happening, I'm collecting. And I'm just collecting it from around me here on the ground. I'm not even going off looking for stuff. Some of this stuff's a little bit green, but it'll still go. And I'm just building this in a TP fashion to let that Venturi effect work. That heat rising up through there. Running out of small stuff around me. I'm going to have to go to bigger stuff whether I want to or not. Again, this is not the ideal situation for building a fire, not being ready. But I want to show you how easy you can still affect fire as long as you have a natural accelerant. Like I said, I'm getting to the point where I don't have a lot of little stuff laying around me anymore, so kind of having to put bigger stuff on there maybe before I'm ready, but that's okay. It's good to understand that you don't have to be perfect when it comes down to a fire with natural accelerant like that. Nothing to that, guys. I don't have a timer on the camera here, so I can't tell you how long it took to build that, but man, that fire's not going to go out. Nothing else, it's just going to get bigger now. Okay, guys, so I appreciate you joining me for this little quick video fire trick on how to start your fire using pine resin as an accelerant. And I realize before anybody makes the cracks about fire prep that you should always have all your materials prepped and ready before you strike that ferrocerium rod, light that match, spark that lighter, whatever the case may be. The purpose of this demonstration was to show you the ability of pine resin to take a spark from a ferro rod, number one, as a natural accelerant, and number two, how long it will burn with just a very minute amount of fuel that gives you time to build your fire. If I had all the stuff laying there ready to go, I would have just piled it up over that flame and you really wouldn't have gotten the full effect of how long that pine resin will burn all by itself with nothing there except a few wood chips to catch it. I appreciate you joining me for this video. I thank you for everything you do for me, for my school, for my family, for my instructors, my affiliates, my sponsors, and my friends. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.